Coming to you live from Spooky Nook Sports Complex in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the 2019 Division III National Championship. It's the Middlebury Panthers looking for a three-peat and their fourth in 5 years. And yes, this is footage from earlier this morning. It feels like a miracle that we're actually playing and that the sun is shining this afternoon. But boy, have we been impressed by the efforts of those to get us ready for today. Middlebury College against Franklin and Marshall, all of 6 miles away from here. It's practically a home game for them, and they've got a great support system over on the far side bleachers. I'm Brendan Ngulik alongside former national champion Jessica Schellenberger. Boy, what a fun matchup we've got today. Lots of storylines. The Diplomats looking for their first ever national title. They haven't been in this game in almost 4 decades. They were able to win a pretty impressive performance yesterday, thanks in large part to Lily Minot.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great matchup today. Stylistically, we've got 2 different teams coming out here on this field trying to prove themselves and win a national title today. F&M, first time they've been here since 1981, but love their storyline right now. Knocking off the #1 seed yesterday, taking out Centennial Conference foe. Outstanding effort to get themselves in this game today, but they're up against one heck of a team in Middlebury. Can't wait to watch this game unfold.
That was Minot's second goal, the third of the game for the team, and they won 3-1 and then had a fun celebration with their student section afterward. Meanwhile, the Middlebury Panthers in a 1-0 contest, able to get by one of the best defenses in the country in Salisbury. That goal came from freshman Katie George, the only tally for the Panthers, and once again, they are back competing for a national title.
Yeah, Katie George, what an outstanding individual effort there. Certainly set up by the All-American star Aaron Nicholas. Wonderful, outstanding effort from that team yesterday. Beautiful possession game. We'll see what F&M does to try to crack that ability to get into that circle today. It's going to be key as this Middlebury team is outstanding with keeping people out.
Look, every year is different, right? But you can't help but sit there and feel like perhaps Middlebury is the favorite because of their experience. They won it in 2015. They won in 2017. They beat Tufts last year. Middlebury knows what it takes to get it done when they get to this stage, and I would expect that they might have a little bit of an upper hand because of that experience.
Yeah, I think I could agree with you on that, but you know what? F&M's an underdog, and an underdog's a hungry dog.
I love it. Can't wait for the opening hit here. Franklin and Marshall in white, Middlebury in navy. The national championship underway. Let's give you the starting lineups in first for the Middlebury Panthers, who, by the way, are playing for their 9th title. In addition to their 4 wins, they've also been the national runner-up on 4 separate occasions, all of them since 2003. Their starting goalkeeper is sophomore Grace Harlan, who played very well yesterday, but admittedly wasn't tested nearly as much as some of the other goalkeepers we saw yesterday. Marissa Baker, a senior forward. She's played great this year and had a nice semifinal yesterday. Danielle Brown, one of the best players in the NESCAC. Erin Nicholas gets a start. She's a junior midfielder out of Scarsdale, New York. Emma Johns had a great game yesterday. Julia Richards has had a nice year. She's a senior forward. Olivia Green, a senior defender. Mentioned Katie George scored the goal yesterday for the Panthers. Allison Denby, a senior defender. She is starting along with Sophia Peluso and Meg Feary. Starters for Franklin and Marshall. Again, they are all of 14 minutes away from their campus, and excited to see their support here this afternoon. Aaron Coverdale, a senior from Lewis, Delaware, is a terrific player. This one's tapped forward for Middlebury and out of play. Melissa Gula, Ellie Page, Caitlin Morrissey, Emma Durantine, Darby Klopp, Addie Peters, Colleen Francis, Lily Minot, Katie Roper, and their goalkeeper, Christina Siri. Siri played well yesterday. Katie Roper, a first-year defender, defended at an exceptionally high level yesterday as Coverdale pulls this one away. The early goal for F&M yesterday came from junior Abby Straub. And that opened the gates after it was a scoreless first half. All 4 of the goals in that 3-1 defeat yesterday over Centennial foe Johns Hopkins. All 4 of those goals came in the third quarter. Your early impressions here?
We've had a little bit of back and forth already. Middlebury's trying to establish that possession game that they're so familiar with. but I've seen a couple great interceptions, spirited play that we've come to know from this F&M team. Aaron Coverdale a few moments ago just had a beautiful interception. That's what F&M's going to be looking for. Disrupt that possession, look to counter.
On the move, the Navy Panthers. Wonder if there's a little bit of superstition there. They tend to wear Navy when they're in the national championship game. It helped them get it done last year against NESCAC foe Tufts. 2 years ago, they beat the Messiah Falcons at the University of Louisville. Messiah was trying to repeat as national champs after they finally won their first title in 2016 in a full-on blizzard. The year before, Middlebury knocked off Bowdoin 1-0. So those were your most recent champions. And not a huge surprise that they have often come from some of the powerhouse schools in the NESCAC. But as you pointed out yesterday, Jess, this is a very proud field hockey state, and to have a potential national champion at the Division III level, in addition to perhaps one at Division II, where St. Anselm from up in New Hampshire is playing Westchester, a Division II school out of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Could be a couple of national champions in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that'd be exciting to see. Just a couple miles down the road. Last we checked, Westchester had things under control, so rooting for them as a PA proud coach and athlete.
At the Division I level today, North Carolina and Princeton are competing for a national championship, and understand that there's probably some folks watching that might be keeping your eye on all of those, all three of the national championships today, so we'll try to give you some updates along the way when appropriate. Meanwhile, here come the Panthers attacking off to the left. This one is
looking for that baseline entry again like they always do. And if you took a look there, they had Julia Richards set up right in front of the goal. They were looking to get that ball to her for a quick shot. Just ran out of real estate on the baseline there.
Free hit for the Panthers.
That was a much more direct ball from them there to get that ball into the circle. I like that a lot.
Melissa Gula helped pull that one out of harm's way. 44 degrees, and it is, frankly, pleasant, but it's still kind of chilly because it is so windy.
Yeah, huge shout out to the staff, and there were even some parents out here clearing this field this morning when we arrived.
Loved it.
Thank you to everyone that made this game. Look at this. Outstanding. Perfect environment.
Even folks with the NCAA were approaching the scores table across the way there, and you could hear their comments as they were walking by. You know, this was the plan, and it was delayed by an hour today, but it's a long way from where we were at 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning when this field was under 2 inches of snow. All right, so the Middlebury Panthers, when facing a team like Franklin and Marshall, well, we'll get back to that thought in just a second here. Coming near side, and it crosses the end line.
They're outletting the ball very similarly from yesterday. It's definitely their bread and butter to work that ball down the right sideline. But if you saw that last possession, they had that free hit just outside the 25. So when that happens, you have the ability to play directly to goal, and that's what they look to do there. Once they're inside the 25, though, they're pretty deliberate about attacking and looking for that Zone 3 baseline entry into the circle. So here they are below the 25. We'll see if they're going to go direct or around.
Needed the appropriate 5-yard space. And they'll work it around through Peluso. All right, since you touched on the Panthers there, if you're Franklin and Marshall, obviously you can't lose Erin Nicholas, who has the ball here still into a dangerous area. She tries the backhanded shot deflected over the top of the goal by Julia Richards, and an early bullet dodge by the Diplomats, but a corner out of it.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep your eye on her right there, and that was an outstanding bit of skill to get herself in a position to put a shot on the frame. Just redirected there, obviously a little bit dangerously, so that leads to this corner. They're going to need to stop her outside the 25, keep her out of that circle, don't let her create like she has such an unbelievable ability to do.
Any other quick notable keys about the Diplomats?
These defensive penalty corners are going to be huge here. Obviously, we see that there's a lot of options and secondary passes being made. They're going to have to step out, mark up, and defend well.
Middlebury's insert coming from Emma Johns. Killed up top. Shot cracked to the left-hand side and wide off Marissa Baker's stick. Good try, but not quite effective enough.
So really interesting night. Right now, very first corner, we're seeing a direct shot. And, in watching this team previously, this is exactly what I've seen them go to, using one of their All-Americans, Marissa Baker, at the top of the circle on a direct hit. So definitely keeping F&M on their toes. They've got lots of different weapons and lots of different options up there in that offensive penalty corner.
Jess, you won a national championship at the University of Michigan, so you have a unique perspective here of what it's like to play in a game of this magnitude. Can you try to take us inside someone like Katie George's head, who knows the tradition and the success that Middlebury's had, but this is her first year on the team, and she's obviously had a pretty impactful season as Middlebury wins another corner. What is it like to be a freshman in a situation like this?
I think you adore your upperclassmen. We've heard that all of these programs are like a family. So I know when I was an underclassman, I was playing for those seniors. As much as I wanted to win for myself, I wanted to win for them too, and for my coach. I'm sure she absolutely adores Coach DiLorenzo and everything that we've seen out of her. She's a consummate team player, puts her body on the line for her team. I'm sure she's going to do everything she can to help her team be successful today.
Catherine DiLorenzo, 19th year leading Middlebury. Here comes the penalty corner. Working it to the right side. Nicholas back into the middle. Shot from Baker. The first didn't go, but the second one deflected improperly.
Danger, yeah, absolutely. Colleen Francis was in a great position to help her keeper make a save there. Deflection coming up a little bit high there on that second effort out of Middlebury. I tell you what, though, F&M's going to have to be on their toes on these corners. Those options are definitely threatening and tough to defend.
Across the end line, it'll go back up top. Catherine DiLorenzo, 19th year, 307 wins while leading Middlebury. She's in her 29th year as a head coach at the NCAA level, and she's won 402 games in her coaching career. National championships for the Panthers in 98, and then again in 3 of the last 4 years. Franklin and Marshall, well, they've got a much younger head coach, Caitlin Egger, 3rd season leading the Diplomats. They made it to the national semifinals 2 years ago, but were denied a chance to get to the championship game. Good fight there right around the edge of the circle.
Yeah, Erin Nicholas, she likes to take that little touch back to the inside, so F&M's defender is going to be aware of that, not give her that inside left touch. No goal there. Ball came from outside the cage. Or outside the circle. Correction there, my apologies.
The record for Caitlin Egger, 55-11 in her 3rd season. She has done a fabulous job as a young head coach. And by the way, since we've mentioned Erin Nicholas's name a bunch, she was not a starter today for Franklin and Marshall, but Erin's sister, Michaela Nicholas, is a player on the F&M side. So I would imagine that it is a kind of a dream scenario, I would think, for the Nicholas family. They're guaranteed a national championship. They're also guaranteed some heartache, but must be pretty cool to have that be the case.
Yeah, Michaela's one of the tri-captains for the F&M team, so certainly an important part of this team, certainly somebody that they're looking to for leadership.
Free hit for the Diplomats.
Nice to see Colleen Francis back on the field. She got a few stitches yesterday in the Johns Hopkins game, but field hockey players are tough. She's right back out there.
Yeah, she took a ball that popped up and hit her right around her left eye. Glad she's okay. A little collision there.
Yeah, Katie George is definitely a physical presence. She's a strong girl, and she goes hard with that ball. F&M fans do not like that one.
Hard to blame them. Middlebury Panthers on the season with a terrific 20-1 record. Their only loss came against Tufts on the 26th of October, about a month ago. Ironic in that they had beaten Tufts last year for the national championship, but somewhat expected that the NESCAC continues to turn out good programs. Franklin and Marshall was ranked 6th in the country in the latest poll. Great takeaway. Really well done by Addie Peters.
It takes a lot of strength there on that type of a tackle, and you have to have a quick grip change, put that stick completely on the ground, hold your stick tightly through the hand and the wrist, and it's not an easy skill to perfect there, but beautiful takeaway from Addie Peters. And there you see it again on the replay. Outstanding work defensively.
3 minutes, 20 seconds left in the opening quarter.
So this is where they need to take advantage right here. This is the space they want to be in. Looking to maintain possession. You've got the ball in one of your best players' hands in Aaron Coverdale.
And the first penalty corner of the game for the Diplomats.
I think penalty corners are going to be the name of the game today. This is where these two teams are really going to be able to get after each other. You're limiting those numbers. You only have those 4 defenders and the goalkeeper, so you're giving yourself a huge advantage. This is something that's really going to help F&M out today to be able to get themselves on the board.
Peters will insert. She's got a couple of options up top. Lily Minot standing just inside the circle.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for Coverdale and Minot up there, no doubt.
It's Coverdale to the left-hand side. Peters couldn't slot it back in.
Yeah, she's got to get her hips around on that. We got to put that ball on frame. Absolutely. We got to have Harlan make a save there. Test this defense.
First shot of the entire afternoon for Franklin and Marshall. Misses wide left. Middlebury's taken 3 shots here in the first quarter. Obviously, they've come up empty thus far. Good to see Franklin and Marshall down on the other end, though, because they've played a lot more defense than they would have probably liked in this early portion of the afternoon.
It's a beautiful skill right there out of Emma Durntine. Absolutely beautifully deceptive sweep. So her hands are going one direction, ball's coming off that stick to the right. She's able to get that ball into a penetration in a place where F&M wants it.
Page dumps it off. Here comes Darby Klopp. Ellie Page out of Pennington, New Jersey.
Beautiful quick restart right there. Yeah, certainly we talked yesterday the importance of circle penetration. So Melissa Gula does a wonderful job of restarting. Once we get in that circle, though, we got to be thinking shot or corner. Get something out of those circle penetrations. Every time you get in, you don't want to come away empty-handed.
Final minute and a half in the opening quarter. Diplomats didn't have a lot of room to work with, but they win another corner here.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. So F&M's style, it's very up-tempo, fast-paced. They're restarting the ball quickly, catching Middlebury off guard on there. They were not the 5 yards. They didn't retreat, hence the corner call inside that 25. It'd be heads up from their offense.
So the second penalty corner for Franklin and Marshall. Diplomats have never won a national championship. Is today the day? Coverdale to her right. Had her shot blocked. Klopp dispossessed.
Middlebury's corner defense is really good. We got to see that firsthand yesterday against Salisbury. They do a beautiful job of shifting as a unit, taking away any type of line to goal there. Defended well again.
Inside a minute remaining here in the first quarter.
Here they come using that width of the field, drawing F&M out, looking for that counterattack. This is definitely their bread and butter coming down this right side.
Well defended in that corner. Danielle Brown looking for anywhere to penetrate. Emma Durantine or excuse me, during teen.
And Katie Ripper was helping out on that. They're rocking a really nice double there. Pulling together, giving them nowhere to go.
15 seconds left in the quarter. Well defended around the perimeter of the circle.
Yeah, she just gave up a little bit too much of a touch there, and at this level, in this type of a game, you can't give anybody an inch. That's definitely going to be a card. Yeah, so Marissa Baker, just a little bit of step off, tried to drop back into the play, but led with her forearm. So I do believe we had a couple seconds left on the clock, but that means Marissa Baker is not going to be on the field to start that second quarter for about 2 minutes. I believe that was a green card.
Well, even though they won't officially put it up on the clock here, I agree with you. I think it's about 2 seconds worth of basically hitting the ball, and that'll be about it.
Yeah, if it were me, I'd go Dutch and come back to this right corner. Ever watch the Dutch play? Get to that right corner and dribble the time away.
That would certainly be a smart way to handle it.
Yeah, no turnovers right now, but with 1 second on the clock, not sure Middlebury would be able to get in. There we go, perfect.
All right, 15 minutes in the books in the national championship game. Middlebury and Franklin and Marshall scoreless. It's been entertaining early on, but nobody's put one home quite yet. We'll take a quick timeout here on NCAA.com. "15 minutes complete. The Middlebury Panthers and Franklin and Marshall Diplomats. No score in the national championship." Alongside Jessica Schellenberger, I'm Brendan Gulick. What do you think's going on in that huddle right now?
I think F&M hopefully have just settled. I know Coach Egger had talked to us before about letting her team understand and having them appreciate the fact that they can play with anyone. They are here for a reason. They deserve to be here. I hope that she reiterated that to them. 0-0 on the scoreboard. They're ready to come back out and play. Middlebury, seen a lot more fire out of them than I saw yesterday. They're here to win that third national championship.
Only one other team has ever won 3 consecutive national titles. That was the Salisbury Seagulls 03, 04, and 05. And as fate would have it, Catherine DiLorenzo had a front seat to the first 2 of those, losing in the national championship game in 03 and 04. Panthers were also runner-up in 2007 and in 2011 before they finally found some success again here at the national championship game. And look, to use the word success might not be fair because both of these teams have had unbelievably good seasons. There's 200 teams that play at Division III. And so to make it to the national tournament, let alone to the national championship weekend itself is so impressive.
Absolutely. I'm not even sure if a lot of the field hockey community understands that, Division I's got about 78 programs, Division II, 30. Here, 200. So to be the last two teams standing, Championship Sunday, absolutely something to hang your hat on, be completely proud of.
But we haven't really made mention of it so far because it hasn't made a huge difference. But Middlebury is used to playing on AstroTurf, where Franklin and Marshall plays on field turf back on their home campus.
Yeah, but Franklin and Marshall is a fast team, so this is going to play into their strengths. Minot's a fast player. You've got this whole right side. I mean, you're looking at Klops flying high. This is a great surface for this team to show what they can do.
Certainly the preferred surface of the game. No question about that.
Yeah, this is where you want to be. This is where the game should be played. Anytime you get an opportunity to play on AstroTurf, any child at any level, they want to play here. These college athletes, it's a great opportunity for those that don't get that opportunity every day.
Marissa Baker will run back on here within the next 10 seconds. Middlebury's been down a player, you might remember, after the late green card at the very end of that first quarter. All right, Baker returns. Only the fourth all-time meeting, by the way, between the Centennial Conference's Diplomats and the New England Small College Athletic Conference Middlebury Panthers. Last time they played back in 2017. Middlebury has won all three prior meetings, but that has no bearing on this afternoon's game.
Yeah, the last time they met it was an overtime thriller, so we'll see what we get here today.
Well, certainly anticipating a tight game. So far, so good. By the way, we haven't had a chance to introduce our officials yet, and perhaps those who are watching that are in the officiating community probably prefer not to hear their names read too often because they're out there to just do their job as best they can. This one gets kicked away. But a major congratulations to Julie Clark and Eileen Jones in particular on being selected to referee the national championship match. That is a terrific honor to play in it, but it's also a huge honor to be a part of it as a referee. And congratulations to those two women and their families. Here's Coverdale. Franklin and Marshall making a push. Flinging it in front, but Grace Harlan smothers up that left post nicely.
Yeah, there's some sort of a deflection or a redirect there. I think actually Harlan was moving a little bit to her right and all of a sudden had to come back to her left, so good heads-up play by her to keep her eyes on the ball.
Ellie Page pulls it up top to the right-hand side and pulled away. Good try from Darby Klopp.
Yeah, it's interesting watching F&M's strategy here. They're transferring the ball, but then coming back to the middle and looking to penetrate directly through, and you know what? It is working. So I think they should keep going with that. Just got to make sure they're coming up with the possession on the back end and getting something out of that circle penetration. That's what the game's about.
Middlebury's lone goal yesterday came when they drove right down the middle of the field. It was ineffective in the first half for them yesterday, trying to start on the outside and work it back in. But as soon as Aaron Nicholas and Emma Johns could work in tandem right through the top of the circle down the middle, they were, frankly, rather easily able to score.
Yeah, when they're in transition, if you can get Minot forward, give her some space to run, she is dangerous. Right now, Middlebury's shape, it's right there. They've got beautiful structure. They're supporting each other. They're a tough cookie to crack.
What a run by Franklin and Marshall so far here in the 2019 tournament. You know, it started when they were able to get past Hartwick. This was a F&M team that frankly had to sweat it out a little bit. They were an at-large selection after losing the Centennial Conference Championship match to Johns Hopkins, who they beat yesterday, avenging 2 early season losses, in fact. But they, in the second round of the tournament, beat the only undefeated team in the country, the College of New Jersey, in overtime, 4-3. A thrilling game, handing the number 1 ranked Lions their only loss of the year and ruining their hopes for a national championship. And the Diplomats have continued to ride that high, and here they are.
Yeah, they're definitely throwing some adversity at Middlebury right now with their speed and their transition. You're seeing Middlebury getting caught out of position and coming in from some bad angles, challenging defensively, and that's why we've seen a couple cards here today. So that's definitely to their advantage to restart quickly and track on angles, try to get Middlebury not ready and not holding that shape. Once they get organized and behind the ball, it's going to be difficult for F&M to move forward.
Grace Murphy has it here, working with Kelly Coyle, by the way, over in that right corner. Nicholas with her back to the cage. And here comes Franklin and Marshall, pulled away by Katie Roper. I want to talk about a first-year player that's had a terrific impact. Roper has been a superstar this year and certainly this weekend.
Yeah, we said her name a lot yesterday. She was impressive, and one thing she was doing really well was tackling back. So when you lose the ball, you don't stand there feeling sorry for yourself. You're hustling back, you're staying in the play, you're helping your teammates, doubling down. Outstanding work from her defensively, creating counter, coming up with that ball, standing tall out there as a freshman.
If you're just joining us and wondering which team is wearing which colors, because they are fairly similar, Middlebury's in the navy, and Franklin and Marshall are in white. It's been a pretty evenly matched play game so far. Shots have been somewhat hard to come by here. We played 22 minutes, 5 total shots. Good defense by the Diplomats, and they win the ball back.
It was a right idea right there out of Grace Murphy. She was looking to turn in and find a foot, create a corner, and beautiful tackles again. We've seen that already today by F&M. Hands to the turf, well executed.
Middlebury has 3 shots, 2 penalty corners, and all 3 of their shots came in the opening few minutes of the first quarter. They've had nothing since then. Franklin and Marshall's taken a shot off of each of their 2 penalty corners.
There's been a loss of possession a little bit here out of Middlebury that we did not see yesterday. They were definitely a little bit more careful with the ball yesterday. So I think that's going to be to F&M's advantage right now if they can continue to disrupt them.
Good stick work from Klopp and Peters. Free hit here for Darby. First-year player, also from Lewis, Delaware. Went to the same high school that Aaron Coverdale attended over at Cape Henlopen.
It's got to be exciting for both of these programs to have some freshmen that are stepping on this field and contributing right away. We talked about Klopp, we've talked about Roper, obviously George from Middlebury. It's awesome for these programs to keep getting these bright young players that are coming in, contributing right off the bench right away.
Great defense from Meg Ferry, denying a shot from a great angle. F&M relentless, though, still working it in front. Klopp couldn't get to it in time. Marissa Baker here.
That's some beautiful work by Baker. Under pressure, carrying the ball out of harm's way, getting her head up, finding her teammate, creating that opportunity to move forward.
6 minutes left before halftime in the national championship match.
Once again, F&M is loud and proud. We got a lot of college students over there. Gotta love the support for our sport.
Amen. Free hit for Gulap. She lofts it in the air.
Yeah, it's a great skill. You're seeing that now more and more in the college game. Really can open up and give you another variation coming off that outlet. It was well executed, just unfortunately didn't drop where she wanted it to.
Final few minutes of the second quarter here. You know, we got the coaches' thoughts, but how about your thoughts on switching from 2 35-minute halves to 4 15-minute quarters this year?
Well, it's tough. I'm somebody that if I haven't experienced something personally, I don't know if I want to make too many judgments. Of course, when I first saw it, I was like, well, they're losing time, and they don't get a timeout. And so, of course, I'm thinking of it in a negative way. But I've heard nothing but positiveness from coaches and players alike. They really enjoy it, and so I got to go with that. I think that, you know, this is the way that the FIH plays. We want to prepare these young women to play at that level, so let's prepare them the right way and play this way collegiately.
Good diving effort by Klopp. Stays with the Panthers, though.
Yeah, great save by Harlan. We saw that yesterday as well. Heads up, finding those spaces, get the ball out of the circle.
Here comes Erin Nicholas, chipping to her left, takes the backside shot, And it's deflected away. Ellie Page comes up big.
And Nicholas has been one heck of a threat here today. My goodness, I feel like we've got a front row seat to her show. Outstanding individual effort to get that ball in the circle. Favoring her backhand right now and hasn't had a solid shot on goal. I'd like to see her pull right and see what she's got on her strong side.
26th minute. No score.
That's another really nice tackle there. F&M's doing a beautiful job of anticipating those moves and getting those hands low.
Middlebury switches sides of the field as well as anybody that can do it with quick, clean, crisp passes.
Yeah, nice little backhand spill. Marissa Baker's putting on a clinic here today. She is a threat anywhere on the field. Left side, right side of her body, her ability to distribute, her vision. She's an impressive player.
Just beyond Kelly Coyle's reach there. Baker gets in the way, wins it back for Middlebury. Emma Johns with a free hit.
I like how Coach DiLorenzo described her. She said she is the hub of distribution. She was definitely that yesterday.
That was, I totally agree. That was one of the more unique ways I think I've ever heard a coach describe a player. But it certainly fit. Good work, but Katie George kind of ran out of real estate there.
Yeah, solid scouting report by F&M. They're ready for this baseline entry. They're defending it really well. Beautiful defending there again by Roper. So first tackle, it was well read by George. She spun away, and great footwork to step into that second tackle and not let her finish that spin move, coming clean into the circle.
Just about 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Catherine DiLorenzo has been around field hockey as a player and a coach for a long time, and it's pretty impressive the way she's able to continue not just to recruit really good young women, but frankly some of the premier talent in the country and develop them year in and year out. She also made the comment that because every team is so different, I'll get back to that in a second. Katie George just about to penetrate there at the top of the circle and lost it. She made the comment that, look, you can't just run the same thing year after year and try to force your players into it. You have to play to your team's strengths. And so, they've won the national championship 3 of the last 4 years, but she felt like they've done it in different ways.
Yeah, I would say she's a program, though, that reloads. They absolutely reload. I'm sure there are a few athletes standing over there on that sideline that next year they'll be stepping on this field and keeping this level exactly where it is. Just getting quality athletes year in and year out, kids buying in. That's why she has a successful program.
With a minute to play.
Yeah, F&M's got to connect a little bit better on that pass there. They got to maintain this possession once they're in this attacking third. Want to see them coming away with a little bit more opportunity.
Swiping it across. Another pass back down toward the cage. To the backside, it got kicked away. Great save by Grace Harlan.
What a beautiful diving effort. Outstanding out of Darby Klopp.
Klopp has been super active so far. Just barely couldn't get that one home in time. That last-ditch effort there. The waning seconds here of the first half. Well, Franklin and Marshall knows how to strike quickly, and they almost did. It wasn't a ton of build-up there.
Coming back into this replay, let's watch Klopp on this dive. That's championship field hockey right there, putting it all on the line for your team. Gotta love that.
We have reached halftime. Middlebury and Franklin and Marshall still scoreless in what's been a really well-played national championship game so far. There was only one shot that entire second quarter. But the Panthers and Diplomats able to keep each other at bay.
Yeah, it didn't lack any excitement. I am already ready for the second half. Let's speed up this halftime.
Just less than 10 minutes remaining before halftime, and the teams will be back out on the field. Jess and I will take a timeout. Don't go anywhere. Second half action in the national championship game is coming up shortly on NCAA. Ready to start the second half of the national championship game. Middlebury Panthers, Franklin and Marshall Diplomats scoreless, but not without drama throughout the first 30. We'll see if one of these two teams can play from out front here early in the second half, or if a scoreless game might go down to the wire. If you've just tuned in, the two teams have had a pretty balanced game so far. Franklin and Marshall, 3 shots, 1 on goal. They've had 2 penalty corners. Middlebury, 4 shots, 1 on goal. They've also had 2 penalty corners. 1 green card issued to Marissa Baker. She set out the first 2 minutes of the second quarter after picking up that card with 1 second left on the first quarter clock. Middlebury in navy, and Franklin and Marshall in their white. I'm Brendan Gulick along with Jessica Schellenberger. I'm certainly not going to ask you to get into the prediction business here. That's not fair, but what'd you see in the first 30 minutes that you really enjoyed and you think might be a difference here late in the game?
I saw a lot of more spark out of Middlebury than I saw yesterday. Yesterday was, just very strategic out of them. Today I'm seeing a lot more individual effort. Nicholas just coming into that circle with kind of some reckless abandon. I really love that extra energy out of them today. And then F&M just doing what they've been doing all year, working hard as a team, creating some counter. Just really exciting field hockey out of them.
Diplomats coming from the right side to the left side here.
Middlebury's come out on this half, though, exactly like they started the game, with some solid possession. And obviously there's George being physical and working hard up front. So very similar start to both halves here.
If you're wondering why we're still playing at almost 3 o'clock Eastern time, this game didn't start until just after 2 Eastern, delayed an hour because we got some pretty significant snow overnight. There are lots of pictures on social media available. If you can't seem to find them, I put up a couple on Twitter, at Brendan Gulick 22. This entire turf field was 2 inches under snow. Wet, heavy, slushy mess. And there were an awful lot of helping hands, including some parents from both teams that lent a helping hand to get the field ready for competition. I didn't even need to turn on the water guns at any point.
If you think about it, a lot of these young women, they're not necessarily local, and these parents have traveled many miles to see their daughters play here today. They were hitting up Lowe's and Home Depot, buying shovels and coming out here and helping out. So what a great environment, family environment, Division III field hockey at its best.
A massive thank you to all that helped us prepare for today's game. Middlebury trying to win their 3rd consecutive national championship. It's only happened one other time in history. They would also win a 4th in 5 years should they get it done. Franklin and Marshall, they've been national runner-up just once, 1981. They've been to the national semifinals a number of other times, but had not otherwise won a national championship.
Here we see Olivia Green with the ball, one of the captains from Middlebury, and she is an impressive player in the backfield. Heads-up play. She knew that ball was going to be hers. Just watches it calmly roll out of bounds. Picks her head up, outlet pass. She's quite the leader in the backfield for Middlebury.
Do the Diplomats need to do anything different in the second half?
Yeah, they're going to have to clean up the possession, especially in the attacking third. I think they're doing a nice job of penetrating, but maybe a little bit of nerves. They don't have the experience in this game as the Middlebury players might, so they just need to clean up that possession. They're doing a great job of getting the ball forward, but where it matters most is inside this 25.
Here comes Lily Minot, who, believe it or not, did not outrun Allison Denby. I say that because it feels like Minot outruns everybody.
Yeah, Denby did a really nice job there. I absolutely love, again, Coach DiLorenzo said she is a woman among girls.
Lily Minot hasn't taken a shot yet in this national championship tilt. Have to think it won't be long.
Yeah, see, and there we go again with Addie Peters, maybe just rushing the possession a little bit. They've just got to calm down inside that 25. That's where they want to be. Take your time and get into that circle. It's a dangerous pass right there.
It sure is. And that's why.
Yep.
Turned it over. Coverdale was there, and free hit for the ladies in white. They want to step on the gas pedal quickly here.
Absolutely. They've caught Middlebury a couple times not being that 5 yards, and sometimes that's a strategy by coaches. If we can take those free hits quickly inside that 25, catch that defense not dropping, you're in that quick penalty corner.
Chance perhaps here for Gula. Turns around, and this is it wide right. Green sends it over. That's a great pass.
Yeah, absolutely. She's bypassing her outside back, going straight to her midfielder. It's a great way to get that ball up a couple lines.
Katie Roper tried to take it away from her. Earns the free hit out of it.
Yeah, she's got to be a little careful there, though, throwing that forearm out.
By the way, this is the last remaining collegiate field hockey game of the year. Division I and Division II have both gone final. North Carolina Tar Heels champions again. They beat Princeton today after giving up the first goal of the game. North Carolina racked up 6 goals and pounded Princeton 6-1. And in the Division II game, Westchester with a win.
Yeah, man. PA Pride, Golden Rams.
Golden Rams out of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Last year, they had they had appeared in 4 different national championships. Westchester is a pretty impressive athletic program. They were able to win not terribly far from here. They were over at Millersville. But anyways, this is the last collegiate game of the season. Still scoreless, Middlebury and Franklin and Marshall.
Yeah, combined 10 goals scored in those other games, and we're scoreless here.
By the way, I wanted to work this in somewhere along the way, and perhaps it's appropriate here because we were talking about some other schools. So Johns Hopkins lost yesterday to this Franklin and Marshall team. But it was literally the only bad news for the Blue Jays yesterday. Johns Hopkins had a heck of a day. They won the national championship in volleyball yesterday. Their women's cross-country team won the national championship in the team championship. They also, their women's soccer team advanced to the national quarterfinals. Johns Hopkins won their regular season events in both basketball teams, both swimming and diving teams, and their men's cross-country team finished 5th at nationals. So it felt like it was disappointing here for the Blue Jay fans, but that's a heck of a day.
Yeah, absolute tradition of winning. Johns Hopkins, really, what an impressive day for them.
There are a lot of Division III schools across the country that won't sniff that kind of success. Hardly ever that Johns Hopkins had in one day. Kudos to Jane Wells and her staff on a great year winning the Centennial and getting back to the national semifinals for the second year in a row. I'm sure they are hoping to be a mainstay at this tournament as time moves on. Meanwhile, for Middlebury, working that right-hand side, this one pops up in the air.
Yeah, Allison Denby. Yeah, defended well again there by Peters. Oh, excuse me, Straub.
Denby works it down into the corner. Baker trying to help out. Denby. It's deflected out by Minot.
Yeah, and you're seeing Middlebury do what they like to do. They're working that right channel. They're trying to come in through that baseline. And F&M's ready for them. It's interesting. They didn't have a lot of time necessarily to prepare for this game, right? They competed yesterday, entirely different opponents for both of these squads. And here you turn around 24 hours later and you're facing a different style. And there's definitely a different atmosphere here today. This is a much more fast-paced game than we saw yesterday.
Baker flung one right into a defender. And part of that goes to the coaching philosophy that both of these coaches told us they subscribe to. It's not so much about trying to stop an opponent from doing what they want to do. It's a lot more about focusing on what you do well and trying to execute that at the highest level.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. But I also think there's got to be a certain level where you're giving your athletes comfortability in what to expect out of an opponent. And Middlebury's going to possess this ball, and they're looking for you to dive in, make a mistake defensively, and take advantage. And I think F&M's doing a nice job of anticipating that and maintaining composure. But certainly they got to get it going on this offensive side. Middlebury's, again, had the better of the possession.
5 minutes left in the third quarter. Just out of Abby Straub's reach.
Yeah, it's a beautiful look by Marissa Gula to find that line there. And she could have got Straub on the back end of that. That would have been some trouble down there for Harlan. Can see it on the replay here. Beautiful pass. Beautiful vision by Marissa Gula to see that line to goal.
Olivia Green goes up the left-hand side. Danielle Brown tried to get through a defender. Didn't work out to her advantage.
Yeah, nice little piece of skill out of her. You know, she had that sideline taken away. She spun hard to the inside, change of direction, change of speed. Great, excellent move there and vision to get herself open.
11 minutes have been elapsed here in this third quarter. We've had one total shot. Came from Aaron Nicholas, but that was it. Perhaps something brewing here.
Yeah, Sari's doing a nice job. She's got her eye on that ball, and she's making those clears.
Fury rolls it to her left. John's back up top. Right-hand side here for Allison Denby.
Yeah, Allison Denby in that right sideline, they know each other well. She holds that width. I can imagine they spend a lot of time working these passing patterns that we're seeing out of them. With pressure, without pressure, because the ability for them to pass as crisply and execute it as solidly. And doing a wonderful job of exploiting that defense, getting them on the move, leads to a corner.
Isabel Chandler, in particular, helps win the corner. And perhaps this is what Middlebury needed. First corner of the second half.
And we've seen two different things out of them today. I think every single corner that we saw yesterday was a different look from them. And again, if you're thinking about who you're playing, you want to prepare your athletes for what they might see. And it's a tough way to prep when you don't know what you're going to get out of Middlebury. Is it going to be direct? Is there going to be one pass, two pass? Sometimes we've even seen three. So F&M's defense got to be on their toes, ready for anything down there.
We'll take the corner from the near side here. Fury set to insert. Comes up top to the left-hand side. Aaron Nicholas turns, takes a shot, and it's going the other way.
Yeah, talking about different looks, so now they're inserting that ball from the opposite side. We didn't see that at all yesterday, so they've got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. If this was a quarterback with the plays on his arm, he'd have to have a whole arm sleeve full of them.
Inside 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Middlebury's dominated possession here the last couple of minutes. Franklin and Marshall has taken their chances, but haven't been able to capitalize on any of them. That one crosses the end line. I would say Middlebury has been the better team so far in the third quarter. If for no other reason, then they've certainly held the ball more, perhaps twice as much.
It's kind of interesting. Statistically speaking, this is Middlebury's time to shine. They score a lot more goals in this quarter than any other. So we'll see if they can get one here. They've got 2 more minutes to fulfill that stat.
Well, credit to the Diplomat defense for the job they've done thus far. Middlebury on the year averaging almost 3.5 goals per game. That one slid through to the middle. Real chance coming. Just off to the right.
Yeah, and that's difficult there. So I'm a big fan of Colleen Francis. I love her confidence and composure over the ball. When you're a center back and you're going to dribble out of your backfield, you've got to distribute the moment pressure comes. And she tried to hold on and got her pocket picked by Nicholas, and that's the last person you want to be giving that ball up to.
There's a whistle. $1:15 left in the quarter. Middlebury dragging along the end line. Erin Nicholas wins a corner.
And she did a really nice job there. If you noticed, she pulled that ball back 5 yards, and then she went forward. So she's amassed that 5. Now she can take that ball into the circle. Really great heads-up play, but obviously from somebody that knows what she's doing out there.
Now, is this the moment that Panther fans have been waiting for?
A lot of conversation out of the Middlebury players. You have to think that they're certainly thinking to themselves, what's going to work here? It's nice to see that leadership and that call come from the field, trusting your athletes to know what they need to do in this moment.
Isabel Chandler inserts it near side. Emma Johns rolls to the middle. Erin Nicholas takes the shot to the left-hand side. Lifted up into the air.
Yeah, great heads-up play there by Middlebury to recognize the goalkeeper is down and look to put that ball in the air up over top of her. Just a little bit too much on it. Takes it over the crossbar. Tell you what, F&M, this is scaring me for those guys. They got to step out and get more pressure on that ball. Do not let them have that opportunity to take a shot.
Clock is winding inside 30 seconds here in the third. Fury. You wonder if perhaps Middlebury's experience in this game is starting to take a little control because of the way they have looked comfortable here in this second half. Final 5 seconds ticking off of what will stay a scoreless game as we head to the fourth and final quarter. The national championship match is still 0-0 through 45 minutes. Quick timeout. Jessica and I will return in just a moment. Middlebury and Franklin and Marshall still deadlocked, still scoreless. Fans are loving it and hoping that this will be a big celebration sooner than later. But we'll find out if we get a goal in regulation or if we need overtime to determine this year's national champion. Middlebury wants a three-peat and a 4th in 5 seasons. Franklin and Marshall just wants to get their hands on that coveted trophy for the first time ever. Somebody's going to win today, and somebody's going to have a goal that might change their life.
Yeah, the environment here is impressive. The F&M student section, I would almost call it. I feel like I'm in Happy Valley as a Michigan grad. I know you're an Ohio State fan. I'm not sure we would want to go there. But it feels a little white out to me right now. The crowd is definitely in F&M's favor.
It certainly helps that they are 6.6 miles from their campus, just 14 minutes away. Middlebury, credit to those who made the trip, 402 miles from here. 6 hours and 25 minutes the drive up to Vermont. Sun-splashed afternoon. It didn't start that way, but the weather hasn't affected the game negatively at all as Minot steals it and comes up the middle of the field. Lilly plays it past a defender. Able to keep it in play. Minot still had it on her stick, but lost out on the chance.
Yeah, she's a quick player, so you see she kind of touched that ball past the defender and ran to get it. You know, that's going to work when you've got some speed, but certainly she's leaving that ball off her stick, and the possession's not necessarily hers. Does a nice job to corral that ball, spin back in, but loses possession over the end line.
Lily Minot and Erin Coverdale have combined for 103 career goals. It would be almost surprising if someone other than one of those two players provided a diplomat tally. Darby Klopp, the only other Franklin and Marshall student athlete who has scored double-digit goals in her career. She's at 10.
Yeah, she had that diving effort early in the first half there. I'd like to see that one again out of her.
Less than 13 minutes left in regulation. What's it like as a player to be in a tight game like this, Jess, and you're trying to manage the idea of, okay, still need to be aggressive because we have to try and score, but, gee, the later the game goes, the bigger the mistake, the more it gets magnified.
Yeah, I think you're constantly just playing a mental game, too, trying to keep your nerves in check, and you've also got to execute the game plan. Certainly F&M right now, they're a little bit more comfortable, laid back in their press. They're not throwing a lot of numbers forward. They're being very cautious about keeping this ball in front of them. But I think they're certainly probably managing a little bit of nerves the longer this thing goes. But they got to get the most out of these opportunities. Here they are coming forward. I'd like to see them get in this circle.
Franklin and Marshall, their offensive opportunities in the second half have been few and far between. We'll have a free hit generated by Ellie Page, but a great defensive play in the first half that may have saved a goal.
You can see they have that same strategy from the first half. They're definitely looking to penetrate this circle, route one straight down the middle. So they're going with that first transition pass and looking to play it in.
And they play it wide to the right. Another free hit. Page shuffles it in, and that went off a diplomat foot.
Yeah, they just got to clean up that possession again. Just a little bit off on those receptions. If even that was an attempt to deflect it into a foot, they've got to stay low and strong in that body position, especially under pressure. Middlebury's got really strong defenders. They're going to be able to clean that stuff up.
Good high press by Franklin and Marshall, but Denby able to keep it in bounds. The Panthers handling their business fine. This is taken away by Katie Roper. Free hit for Roper. Abby Straub.
Yeah, right idea coming down that left sideline, looking for a quick pass down to Minot, but I don't think Minot was quite ready for that ball.
Deflected ahead, Aaron Nicholas. Truly one of the premier players in NESCAC history, and she still isn't quite done yet with her career. Aaron Nicholas, only a junior.
Yeah, she's really impressed me today. Her ability to get into that circle, almost untouched at points. F&M's really got to keep an eye on her.
That's off a Panther foot. 10 minutes to go in regulation. Panthers playing through Nicholas here. Aaron dragging the ball around, wins a free hit.
She does a really nice job of putting that ball outside her right foot, which gives her the ability to cut and go in all different directions.
John sent it over toward Katie George, and then Chandler committed a foul.
Yeah, defended really well there by Addie Peters, marking very tightly there, bodying up. Sometimes I would tell my athletes it's like boxing out in basketball. Can't let them get inside you, especially on that back post.
Franklin and Marshall have to be careful with the ball in space here. Nicholas takes it away. Minot using her body well to trap the ball, but Denby picks her pocket.
Yeah, really nice tackle there. She was patient on that, waited for Minot to present the ball. Nice tackle, good takeaway. Got her head up, outlet pass, exactly what she wanted out of an outside back.
Once again through Denby on the right. 8.5 minutes to play. It's deflected in front.
Yeah, that came off of a Middlebury attacker, so she created that danger when the ball came off her stick. Definitely coming out down there.
8 minutes and 13 seconds. Another look.
Got our ball people out there in the bright green shirts. These are some local high school players. I recognize some faces out there, some junior high athletes as well. So thank you to those athletes for volunteering their time.
Cool chance for them. Here comes Minot up the left side, but couldn't run it down. Olivia Green got there first. Green saves this one in the corner.
Olivia Green kind of beat Minot there with her same skill. Just kind of threw it past her, ran onto it.
Straub flinging it toward the middle. Free hit for the ladies in white.
You got to watch Green when she's off ball. She's communicating to everyone around her. She is low and strong. She is in the zone, too. Look at her looking at that ball. She's ready.
Franklin and Marshall trying to keep it on this end. Halfway through the fourth quarter. Still scoreless in the national championship game. Franklin and Marshall hasn't taken a shot the entire half. They are still stuck on 3 total shots.
Yeah, Darby Klopp got the inside lane there on Sophia Peluso. I think another diving attempt. She might have had a goal. She kind of knew it too. She got down on that turf, gave it a little pounds.
Here come the Panthers. Isabel Chandler up the left side. Chandler holding. It goes up and in! I think it was from Baker. The Middlebury Panthers score the first goal of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. There was almost a delayed reaction out of Baker there, too. I think it took a second. It hung in the air for her to actually realize that bad boy went in. Outstanding work. First goal here, Marissa Baker.
Boy, that ball hung up in the air. Watch it again. It felt slow motion in real time.
No, I see. So the shot came in low, and there was actually a deflection off a defender there.
Yeah, it came off Emma Durantine's stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just hung up in the air just barely beyond Christina Siri's reach.
Yeah, there was probably a moment there where they were wondering if it was going to go over the top of the crossbar and ended up in the cage. Kind of an unfortunate opportunity for the F&M defense, but we're on the board here. Middlebury, this is a different game now.
Well, Middlebury playing from out front here. Everything changes. You're right. They are 5 minutes and change away from a third straight national title.
You can see F&M's tactic right now is they're trying to look for a line straight to goal, play that ball in with just a little bit of air on it, try to get some hops in there over top of sticks.
Can the Panthers put the game away? We'll go back up top.
Lots of energy right there out of Danielle Brown to run down that ball. I thought she was going to turn the corner and get into the circle.
You know, we said it yesterday, but appropriate to bring it back up here again. Catherine DiLorenzo stressed to us at the beginning of the week that while it might be fun for fans and for media to talk about how things have been done in a row, championships won in a row, she said her team does not talk about that ever. They are only focused on winning the next game. As cliche as it sounds, she really said, look, the last couple of years we've had great teams and we've turned out that we've won the national championship, but this year's team is a different team with certainly a similar goal, but they're going to write their own story. Nevertheless, should they win a third straight and a fourth in 5 years, it's hard not to look at this team, and I realize it's college athletics and not professional, but it's hard not to think about the word dynasty.
Absolutely. This program has been tremendous the past 3 years, the past 4 years, the past 5 years, just reloading year in and year out. Talent from one class to the next. Kudos to Coach DiLorenzo and her coaching staff and her team.
Well, Franklin and Marshall will not go down without a fight. They've got 4 minutes to come up with a goal here.
I think they've got the right idea and the tactic to try to enter into this circle. It's just got to be a stronger ball coming in, and everybody's got to get in front of their defender and be the first person to touch that ball. Right now, Middlebury's beating them to the ball inside this attacking 25, and that can't be the case if they're going to get into the circle.
Perhaps maybe some cosmic justice for Middlebury having beaten Salisbury in yesterday's semifinal, considering that they lost to Salisbury in the national championship in 03 and 04, the first two of 3 straight Seagull national championships, the only other school to ever do it. Coach DiLorenzo joked with us earlier this week about Dawn Chamberlain's program at Salisbury, which has been so good. She said, you know, they beat us enough early in my career at Middlebury. I certainly know how good they are. Maybe trying to put the game on ice here. Tight around the left post.
And that was Nicholas going to her backhand again. She's certainly proficient there, and I think we're going to have a referral here.
We will. So the first replay review of the national championship game comes with 2:57 left in regulation. The Panthers have a 1-0 lead. We will explain the ruling on the field, what the referral is, and the outcome of that referral when we come back. But the referees are going to come over and use our monitor and our headset here to make sure that they get things right. We'll wait for them to actually come over and make sure that they can review this play.
I see Julie Clark was talking to the Middlebury team. I think what happened there was her partner might have radioed to her and maybe said, hey, there was a foul in the circle.
Okay.
And so her original call might have been that it was coming out. And what she needs to do there, she can ask her partner for assistance. That's probably what happened, so no need for the referral. And you're seeing Erin Nicholas coming in here. And what actually happened there, so the save was made by Siri, but she saved that ball into her own teammate. And that's what's going to result in the corner.
All right, so no need for the referral. Instead, Chandler rolls it to the top. It's killed back to the left-hand side. John's into the middle, trying to work it over to Denby, but she couldn't get the stick on the ball quick enough. Here comes Abby Straub. Ahead for Lily Minot. Franklin and Marshall, 2:42 to play. They need a goal. Minot wins the corner.
Yeah, the call's going to be there that she intentionally put that ball over the end line. Defender has to make the attempt to clear that ball wide. If it looks like you're trying to put that ball over the end line just to save it, it's going to be a corner. That's a great call.
First corner of the half. Actually, second corner for Franklin and Marshall. They still have not had a shot since the first half, though. Insert will come from Addie Peters.
You can see the defense gearing up. They're putting on gloves. They're putting on face masks. It's a tough sport. You got to make sure you're protected. Especially, that Coverdale's got a drag flick up there as a shot where she's going to put the ball into the air.
Peters, near side. They fling it over to Coverdale. She puts it up into the air, and it's just wide right.
Yeah, defender got a piece of that because it definitely was something was going on frame. So great defense by Middlebury.
Feeling like a mad dash to the finish here. Marissa Baker's goal late in this game. It came about 5 minutes left in regulation.
Olivia Green there putting it all on the line. She's tackling from her knees. It's a senior defender right there if I've ever seen one. She's like, no way you're getting past me right now.
Officially, Marissa Baker's goal came in the 54th minute. We are inside 2 minutes remaining.
And Middlebury's in no rush to get this ball forward, too. It's all about possession. Aptly enough, they're probably looking to get this ball on their right side, and we talked about this yesterday. Got that 1-goal lead. You want to get that ball on your strong side.
Panther fans don't have any fingernails left. They want that clock to get down to 0 as quickly as possible. Franklin and Marshall, they've got 1:15 to find a way into the back of the cage.
F&M did a nice job right there at possession. This is going to be an interesting call.
It's a green card.
If that play was outside the 25, and it's just going to be a free hit, but I'm wondering if Colleen Francis was asking if it was inside because there's a potential for an upgrade for a corner there. So it must have been outside.
Katie George received the 2-minute card. She'll be off the rest of regulation. 1 minute to play in the national championship game.
Megan Fury right there on that defensive play to outlet that ball. Well done. And unfortunate there from Minot. Just a little misreception right into her own foot.
.37 seconds to play. Nicholas. Racing up the field and taking the Diplomat hopes with her.
Yeah, she's been sensational today.
15 seconds left.
Yeah, Middlebury's been really smart with the ball right now. It's when you know you've got 7 returning starters who've been in this game before.
Different year, same story. 3 in a row and 4 in 5. The Middlebury Panthers have won the national championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stay in your seats for the presentation of the awards ceremony momentarily.
What a great performance from our defending national champions. Came in here and they played like champions, top to bottom, defended well. They were just amazing inside that circle, creating so many scoring opportunities, different looks on those corners. They absolutely deserve to win this game today. But I got to extend my heartfelt congratulations as well to F&M head coach Caitlin Egger. What an outstanding run in the NCAA tournament. They have so much to be proud of. Proud to call them our hometown team as a Lancaster County and myself. Nothing to hang their heads about here.
What a season. Outstanding tournament championship. Middlebury again, and a day where, frankly, at the beginning of the day, we knew we would see a game somewhere, sometime. But frankly, with all of the snow that was on the field at the outset of the day, knew the game was going to be delayed at least by an hour. And it turned into be a beautiful, cold, but beautiful afternoon where the Panthers are celebrating their 5th NCAA championship. 1998, 2015, and each of the last 3 years, 17, 18, and now 2019. Middlebury finishes the year 21-1. Franklin and Marshall closes the season with a record of 20-4. They are national runners-up for the second time in program history. Congratulations to both schools on a great season, but especially to the Panthers, who are able to finish it out. Again, their run through the tournament, Middlebury with wins over Babson, Keene, Salisbury, and now Franklin and Marshall, and they are the undisputed, well-deserved national champions.
Yeah, kudos to Coach DeLorenzo. Once again, they get it done. We knew we were going to see a great game today, and we absolutely did. You can see both teams acknowledging their fans. What a great crowd, great environment. Honored to be here. Honored to serve next to you, Brendan.
It's been a lot of fun. Glad to have you. Senior class for Middlebury. They are graduating, going out on top. Kelly Coyle, Emma Johns, Julia Richards, Olivia Green, Allison Denby, Sophia Peluso, and Marissa Baker. They are national champions once again. For Jessica Schellenberger and for our entire production crew, I'm Brendan Gulick. We'll stick around here with you for a little while and show you the trophy presentation, but for now, Jess and I will step aside and let the pictures tell the story. Congratulations, Middlebury does it again. Third year in a row and the fourth in the last 5. They are your national champion. Middlebury and Franklin and Marshall about to have the trophy presentation here. The Panthers with a 1-0 victory win their third consecutive national championship. Enjoy what you see here of the trophy presentation. Middlebury's about to get yet another piece of hardware that they'll take home with them.
This is an exciting time for both of these teams, just to have this moment of recognition. Certainly for their parents and their families that have traveled so far to see them play. Been on both sides of this, getting the championship trophy, but also getting that runner-up. Years from now, these are the moments you remember. Maybe not the game, but just that last opportunity to stand there with your teammates and just feel so proud.
We'll step aside here and let the public address announcer carry our coverage here and allow you to see these young ladies as they're recognized for their efforts.
First, we would like to recognize this year's all-tournament team. From Salisbury University, Lindsay Elgin and Don. From Johns Hopkins University, and from Middlebury, Katie George, Olivia Green, Marissa Baker, and your most outstanding player, Aaron Nicholas. And now we'd like to present the team awards. First, the second place team finished with a record of 20-4, the Diplomats of Franklin and Marshall. Team members include Eric Coverdale, Lauren Mumby, Kat Horsley, Melissa Gula, Ellie Page, Abby Straub, Caitlin Morrissey, Emma Durantine, Katie O'Loughlin, Leah Plucker, Sydney Wiskowski, Claire Murphy, Michaela Nicholas, Darby Klopp, Addie Peters, Colleen Francis, Maddie Bickle, Lily Minot, Maggie Ferrandino, Braden Renke, Aaron Corrigan, Sydney Lippy, Katie Roper, Christina Siri, Assistant Coach Sheena Landis, Assistant Coach Gabriel Notes, Assistant Coach Jamie Goldkind, and Head Coach Caitlin Eger. Well, Head Coach Caitlin Eger and the team captains, please come forward to accept the trophy. And now, the 2019 National Champions, finished with a record of 21-1, the Panthers of Middlebury College. Team members include number 1, Charlotte Marks, number 2, Marissa Baker, number 3, Audrey Lazar, number 4, Joan Vera, number 5, Kelly Boyle, number 7, Hannah Sullivan. Number 8, Isabel Chandler. Number 9, S.K. Herlock. Number 10, Riley Marchant. Number 11, Sadie Lesage. Number 12, Diana Milne. Number 13, Danielle Brown. Number 15, Erin Nicholas. Number 16, Emma Johns. Number 17, Julia Richards. Number 18, Olivia Green. Number 19, Katie George. Number 20, Allison Denby. Number 22, Grace Murphy. Number 24, Sophia Paluso. Number 25, Grace Harlan. Number 26, Saline Everett. Number 28, Meg Peary. Number 44, Grace Aronson. Manager, Caroline McCammon. Assistant Coach, Andrea Way. Assistant Coach, Rachel Colombo. Athletic Trainer, Rachel Eldridge. And Head Coach, Catherine DiLorenzo. Well, Head Coach Catherine DiLorenzo and the team captains, please come forward to accept the trophy. Congratulations to the 2019 NCAA Division III Field Hockey National Champions, the Panthers of Middlebury College. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the NCAA, we thank you for your support of NCAA Field Hockey. Thank you for
yeah.